Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books.
Yeah.
Today we review a romance book. Let's get started.
Sounds good.
So today's book is Love Letters on Hazel Lane by Jennifer Page.
Oh, I loved this one.
So good, right?
Yeah.
This one's like a classic.
It is.
It's like one of those books you just want to curl up on like a rainy Sunday afternoon with a cup of tea and just get lost in it.
Exactly. The perfect escape.
Yeah. And speaking of getting lost, our protagonist, Jo, is doing quite a bit of that herself, literally and figuratively.
Right.
So the story starts with Jo relocating to the quaint little town of Hebbleswick after her friend, Gemma, moves away.
It's a fresh start for her.
It is. But, she's not exactly, footloose and fancy-free.
She's got some baggage.
Yeah, she's carrying some baggage, especially when it comes to dating.
Oh, especially when it comes to dating.
And she has kind of a unique way of dealing with that anxiety.
Yeah, how so?
So she decides she's only going to date men whose names score high in Scrabble.
What? That's hilarious. I've never heard of that dating rule before.
It's pretty creative, right?
Yeah, it is. Does it work?
Well, we find out pretty quickly that it leads to some pretty hilarious situations.
Like what?
So her first date, this guy named Neil,
Okay.
takes her to a tapas restaurant.
Oh, not a fan of tapas.
And it's just not her scene at all.
Yeah, not everyone's a tapas person.
And then there's Tarquin.
Tarquin. That name just screams Scrabble champion.
Right.
Like, he must be good at Scrabble with a name like that.
But he turns out to be kind of a dud.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. But, these dating mishaps, they're frustrating for her, obviously.
Sure.
But they push her outside of her comfort zone a little bit.
That's good. Sometimes you need a little push.
And they lead to some unexpected connections.
Right.
So she has this chance meeting with Roz,
Right.
who's a local GP,
Okay.
and they meet at a pub quiz.
Fun.
But it's another disastrous dating experience.
Oh, no.
But they kind of bond over their shared love of Scrabble.
Ah, so there's a connection there.
Yeah, and that connection eventually leads to them coming up with this grand idea to organize a Scrabble festival in Hebbleswick.
A Scrabble festival. That's amazing.
I know, right?
It's so niche, but it kind of works,
Totally works in this charming little town. And Jo just throws herself into planning it.
Yeah, and she's good at it.
Oh, she's amazing.
Really?
You see her organizational skills and her dedication just shine through.
Nice. I love a good organized protagonist.
She even manages to secure a fantastic venue.
Where?
Hebbleswick Primary School.
Wow, perfect.
I know, right? It's like meant to be.
It seems like it, yeah.
But the planning isn't all smooth sailing, though.
What happens?
She faces some challenges at work, particularly with this new colleague, Leona,
Oh.
who is ambitious
Okay.
and, how should we put this, not the most supportive teammate.
Oh, so she's like the office villain.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And Leona, she adds this whole layer of workplace drama to the mix.
Oh, no. Is it like Mean Girl vibes?
Kind of, yeah. But, Jo is determined to make this festival a success.
Good for her.
And she powers through,
Yeah.
But in the midst of all this chaos, she discovers something quite surprising about the Hebbleswick Scrabble Club.
Ooh, what's that?
She finds out that the club leader is none other than Ress.
Oh, wow. Small world.
I know.
I didn't realize.
Nope. They had that awkward first date, and they didn't even recognize each other.
Oh, that's too funny.
I know, right? Classic case of mistaken identity.
It is.
But it adds a whole other layer of intrigue to their already budding connection.
For sure.
And, of course, the Scrabble Festival itself.
How does it go?
Oh, it's a resounding success.
Yay.
Jo pulls it off flawlessly.
Good for her.
She brings the whole community together,
Nice.
and everyone's just having a great time.
So it seems like things are really starting to look up for her.
They are.
She's finding her place.
She's finding her people.
She's stepping into her power a little bit.
Exactly. But there's a romantic setback.
Oh, no. What happens?
So remember Zoe,
Yeah.
Kate's friend from that disastrous speed dating event.
Yeah, I remember her.
It seems that Ray's
Yeah.
might have developed a little bit of a crush on her.
Oh, no. So Joe's heartbroken.
Yeah, she's feeling pretty heartbroken and unsure of where she stands.
Oh, poor Joe.
Yeah, just when she thought she might have found a romantic connection.
Right.
She's hit with this wave of uncertainty.
That's tough.
And to make matters worse, a ghost from her past decides to make a reappearance.
Ooh. Who is it?
Sai,
Who's Sai?
her manipulative ex-husband,
Oh, no. That can't be good.
is not.
So what does he want?
Well, his sudden reemergence throws a wrench into her newfound stability.
Right.
And it forces her to confront the unresolved trauma of their past relationship.
It's a reminder that even when we think we've moved on, the past can sometimes come back to haunt us.
It totally can.
Yeah.
And in Joe's case, Cy's reappearance brings with it some serious consequences.
So, where do we go from here?
Well, we'll have to pick up with part 2 to see how she deals with all that.
Okay, sounds good.
But it's safe to say things are about to get a whole lot more complicated for Joe.
I can't wait to find out what happens next. So last time we left Joe
Oh, yeah, with that cliffhanger.
dealing with all this stuff.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
And then she gets this letter,
Right, from Sarah.
Cy's current wife.
Right.
Which really, kind of brings to light just how bad things are.
The extent of it all, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, now what? What's she going to do with that?
Right. Does she speak up? Does she try to help Sarah? Does she just, protect herself?
And I think what was interesting is how that kind of mirrored what was going on at work.
Oh, totally. Yeah, with Leona.
Yeah.
It's like Leona was a mini Cy,
Yeah, totally.
constantly undermining her and taking credit for her ideas.
Just creating that toxic environment.
Yeah.
And just when you think things can't get any worse for her, guess what?
What?
Leona gets the promotion.
Ugh, I know. Talk about adding insult to injury.
Right. It's just like, come on.
But it's interesting because it becomes a turning point for Joe, in a way.
How so?
Because remember, Gemma had told her about killing the bully with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of puts that into practice.
Does she really?
She does. Leona's having trouble with this budget spreadsheet,
Okay.
and Joe just steps in and helps her.
Wow. Even though Leona's been awful to her.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
I know. It's like she rises above it all.
It is, yeah. It's like she refuses to be brought down by that negativity.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, her relationship with Roz is evolving.
Even though he likes the other girl.
Yeah, but it's interesting because they find this solace in each other.
With the Scrabble.
With Scrabble, yeah. They're each going through their own stuff.
Right.
And they just support each other through it.
That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, and speaking of Scrabble, the Scrabble Club is in jeopardy because the church decides to sell the hall.
Oh no, where are they going to play Scrabble?
I know. Roz is devastated.
Yeah, because it's like his baby, right?
Totally.
He's the club leader.
Yeah, but Joe being Joe, she decides to find a solution.
Good for her.
And get this, she runs into Tarquin again.
The estate agent.
The one and only.
The Scrabble guy.
Who's in charge of selling the church hall.
Oh, wow. So awkward.
I know, but it leads to this amazing opportunity.
What happens?
Mr. Morgan, who's the headmaster at Hebbleswick Primary,
Yeah.
offers her a job as the school manager.
What? No way.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I know, right?
It's meant to be.
It's like all the pieces are falling into place.
And the Scrabble Club can meet there?
Exactly. But first she has to deal with Cy.
Right. The letter from Sarah?
She decides to confront him.
Face to face?
Face to face. It's intense.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, she basically tells him that she's not afraid of him anymore.
Good for her.
She's not going to be silenced.
Right.
And she even tells him that she pities him.
Oh, why?
Not for the reasons he thinks, but because she sees him as this unhappy, unfulfilled person.
Okay.
And you could tell she's really grown so much, you know.
Yeah, that takes a lot of strength to confront someone like that.
Absolutely.
So does she. What about her game show idea?
Oh, yeah. So she decides to pitch it to David, her boss.
Okay.
Bold move, right?
Yeah. How does it go?
Well, of course, Leona
Oh.
steals her idea and presents it as her own.
That's awful.
I know. It's like just when she starts to feel empowered.
Right.
And then this happens.
So is she okay?
Well, she's got her date with Rest to look forward to.
Right. They're finally going to go on a date.
Yeah, and they finally admit their feelings for each other.
Oh, I love that.
But then disaster strikes. Literally. She's on a walk with Kate.
Okay.
And she falls down this steep slope and is knocked unconscious.
Oh my God. Is she okay? So she's unconscious.
Yeah, and it's kind of a turning point in the story.
Because?
Well, she's obviously injured.
Right.
But as she's recovering, she has to confront some things.
Oh, like what kinds of things?
Her fears,
Okay.
her priorities,
Mm-hmm.
and who comes to her rescue. Ress, of course.
Of course he does.
Braving his fear of heights, no less.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't like heights.
Nope, not at all. Talk about a knight in shining armor.
It really is like he faces his biggest fear to go find her.
I know, right?
That says a lot
It does.
about how much he cares about her.
It does. And so she eventually does go on that date with him.
Even though she has a concussion.
Even though she has a concussion.
Uh-huh.
And she even sends him this message.
What does it say?
That's like all playful, talking about wearing stockings and playing Scrabble.
Oh, wow.
I know, a far cry from her initial dating anxieties.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's on that date that everything changes.
Oh, so.
They confess their feelings for each other.
Finally.
I know, and they share this long-awaited kiss.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's really sweet. But the drama's not over.
Oh, of course not. There's got to be more.
There's always more.
Right.
So remember Sarah,
Sai's wife?
Sai's wife?
Yeah.
She went to the Scrabble Club looking for Joe.
Oh, wow, she did.
And she left a letter with Russ.
Ooh, what does the letter say?
Well, it turns out that Sai hasn't exactly been truthful with Joe
Pal.
about his life,
Oh, okay.
his behavior.
Oh.
And so now Joe has to deal with the fallout from that.
So it's like a whole legal thing?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still the issue of this Scrabble Club venue.
Right. They don't have a permanent place to meet.
Yeah, so Joe, being Joe, she comes up with this proposition for Tarquin.
The estate agent guy?
Yep. She'll become the school manager
At the primary school.
at the primary school,
Yeah.
which means that the Scrabble Club has a permanent home.
Nice.
But there's always a but. There's always a but.
Right.
He has to let them use the hall on Friday evenings.
Deal.
And he agrees.
Yes.
I know, right? She's so good.
Good for her.
I know. But just when things seem to be settling down,
Yeah.
she has this flashback of her trauma while she's on a walk with Kate.
Oh, no.
And it almost causes her to fall down that same steep slope.
Is she okay?
She's okay physically,
Okay.
but it triggers a panic attack.
Oh, no. That's awful.
I know it's a reminder that healing isn't always linear, you know?
It's not. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Exactly. And thankfully, she has this amazing support system in Kate and Ross.
They're good friends.
They're the best. And so now it's the grand finale.
Okay, hit me.
Leona pitches Joe's game show idea to David.
Of course she does.
I know, right? But it's a hit.
Really?
They even film a special episode featuring the Hebbleswick Scrabble Club.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. And David publicly acknowledges that it was Joe's idea.
Good.
He even calls out Roz as her boyfriend.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
That's so cute.
It's very cute.
In front of everyone.
And so the story ends with Joe surrounded by her friends, her Scrabble Club,
Yeah.
her new boyfriend.
It's like the happy ending.
It really is. She finally found her people, you know?
Oh, I love that.
That's so heartwarming.
It is. Love Letters on Hazel Lane.
Such a good book.
It is.
If you haven't read it,
Definitely check it out.
check it out. It's like the perfect escape. It is. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.